New Dallas Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens has a clear role this year, but how he performs remains a big mystery as ESPN's Bill Barnwell sees it. The Cowboys traded for Pickens on May 7th with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Won the number one wideout in Pittsburgh, Pickens will be second to Cowboys star CeeDee Lamb. With Pickens in a contract year, he has every reason to be motivated in Dallas, Barnwell wrote. Few players have a wider range of potential outcomes in 2025. He could be a top 15 wideout or end the season on another roster. Pickens has 174 catches for 2,841 yards and 12 touchdowns in 3 seasons with the Steelers. The former Georgia star has averaged at least 15.3 yards per catch in every season of his career despite the quarterback carousel in Pittsburgh. Pickens is moving from one of the league's least pass-happy offenses to one of its most, Barnwell wrote. The Cowboys threw at the third highest rate in neutral game scripts on early downs before Dak Prescott went down with a season-ending hamstring injury in Week 9. The Steelers ranked 25th by the same metric over that span. Dallas also plays at a faster pace than Pittsburgh, something likely to continue with Brian Schottenheimer taking over as coach, Barnwell added. Pickens will get his chances to thrive in Dallas' pass-oriented offense and a shot at a bigger contract in 2026. George Pickens receives massive upgrade. In Pittsburgh, Pickens caught passes from 5 different starting quarterbacks in 3 seasons. He never went the whole season with one starter, either. Pickens is also going to get a massive upgrade at quarterback, Barnwell wrote. For whatever flack Prescott gets for his weaknesses, he throws one of the most consistently accurate balls of any quarterback. His ball placement on slants, digs, and back-shoulder throws in particular has been excellent over the past few years. Pickens is going to see plenty of those routes, Barnwell continued. With CeeDee Lamb operating out of the slot, the Cowboys have needed an X-receiver since they moved on from Amari Cooper before the 2022 season. Between Cooper and Dez Bryant, Prescott had that big, physical receiver on the outside for most of his career. Pickens should be that guy, Barnwell concluded. George Pickens needed in the red zone. Barnwell sees Pickens benefiting the Cowboys the most in the red zone this season. Dallas had a 46% scoring mark for touchdowns in the red zone last season, which was second worst in the league for 2024. Pickens has the frame and catch radius to be an impactful player in close quarters, but that has never really shown up inside the 20-yard line, Barnwell wrote. He had just 5 touchdowns on 48 targets inside the red zone in his first 3 NFL seasons. I'd like to see Schottenheimer create one-on-one opportunities for his new wideout to leverage that 6'3" frame. For all the positives of Pickens moving to Dallas, the downside has to be a reduction in target share, Barnwell continued. He drew targets on more than 25% of the routes he ran a year ago, which ranked 25th among all wideouts. Brandon Cooks, whose role in the lineup is nominally going to Pickens, drew targets on just under 19% of his routes in 2024. That might not sound like a big difference, but over a full season, that gap could amount to 40 extra targets, Barnwell concluded. Aaron Rodgers has officially signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, just before mandatory veteran minicamp starts on June 10th. On Monday, Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer reported the full terms of Rodgers' deal with Pittsburgh. In short, it's a modest amount of money by NFL quarterback standards, with some performance-based incentives based on team and individual success. Earlier reports are correct that Rodgers' deal is 1 year with $10 million guaranteed and worth up to $19.5 million. Breer has more details on the incentives. Per his report, Rodgers' base salary is $13.65 million with a 2025 cap hit of $14.15 million. If Rodgers plays 70% of the Steelers' 2025 snaps, he will be eligible for the following incentives, per Breer. For individual game incentives, he'll have to play over 50% of the snaps to qualify. $500,000 if the Steelers make the playoffs. $600,000 for a wild card round win or a first-round bye. $750,000 for a divisional round win. $1 million for AFC title game win. $1.5 million for Super Bowl win. $1.5 million for winning the AP MVP award. The Pittsburgh Steelers discussed a multitude of quarterbacks this offseason, including Aaron Rodgers, who they ended up landing. According to Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated, the Steelers discussed Rodgers during their initial end-of-season evaluations. The team also decided to move on from Russell Wilson. Breer details the first option was to bring back Justin Fields as the starter, but if another team pursued him, they knew they would have a hard time getting him back. Among the options discussed were Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins, Matthew Stafford, and others in the free agency pool. Rodgers' name first arose as the Steelers went through initial end-of-season evaluations. Pittsburgh was moving on from Russell Wilson. The Steelers did want to keep working with Justin Fields, but knew if another team was willing to make him the guy, they'd have a hard time keeping him. So they discussed Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins, and Daniel Jones as options, Breer wrote. Those options were all over the place, with Fields and Stafford leading the way as their top options, according to Adam Schefter of ESPN. Yet, the Steelers never believed Stafford would leave Los Angeles, and so while called, they focused their energies elsewhere. The Steelers touched base with the Rams on Stafford, but never believed Stafford would sign off on leaving Los Angeles. They did the same with the Falcons on Cousins, Breer wrote. Ultimately, the team decided to wait on Rodgers, who signed his one-year deal on Saturday, to make it official. He will be the Steelers' starting quarterback this year, but the team looked all over the map before settling on Rodgers as the option they wanted.